Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, one you might have walked past on the sidewalk or tossed carelessly into a jar, and realizing it could change your life forever. Now picture that same penny being worth not just a few cents, not even a few $100s, but up to hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially even millions. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because today we're going to dive into one of the most astonishing treasures hiding in plain sight, the 1968 Lincoln cent with no mint mark. A coin so seemingly ordinary that most people overlook it, yet its value in today's market has reached a staggering $810,000. And if you think that's rare, just wait until you hear what could push that number even higher. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever dumped out your change on the counter and thought, why am I even saving these pennies? Most of us don't think twice about it. But here's the shocking truth. Those forgotten coins in your drawer or that dusty piggy bank in your attic might just be the ticket to a financial breakthrough you never saw coming. And here's the kicker, while most people waste their energy chasing get-rich-quick schemes, the real wealth could be sitting right in their pocket. So how does a penny from 1968, with no mint mark, become so valuable? To understand that, we need to rewind. Back in 1968, the U.S. Mint was striking Lincoln cents in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Denver carried a small d, the San Francisco coins carried an s, but Philadelphia coins had no mint mark at all. For the everyday American, this was unimportant. But for collectors, the tiniest details can mean the difference between face value and a fortune. The specific combination of minting errors, production quirks, and survival rates turned certain 1968 no-mint mark pennies into treasures hiding in plain sight. And here's where things get exciting. Some of these pennies have sold for over $800,000 in top condition, with experts predicting that unique examples could eventually touch the $1 million mark. But let's be real for a moment. If you're watching this, you're not here for a history lecture. You want to know, how do you tell if the penny in your hand could actually change your financial destiny? This is where it gets thrilling, and a little bit terrifying. Because for every person who found one of these rare coins and cashed in, countless others unknowingly spent theirs at the grocery store, losing out on life-changing money. Imagine buying a cup of coffee with a penny that could have paid off your mortgage. That thought alone should send shivers down your spine. Now, here's a funny image. Think about the cashier who once handed back a rare 1968 no-mint mark penny as change. Did they just casually slide $800,000 across the counter without knowing it? It's almost comical, but it's also a wake-up call. Because these coins aren't locked away in museums. They're out there. They're in circulation. They're in jars, piggy banks, and inherited collections. And every day, someone somewhere is either overlooking or discovering one. The question is, will you be the one who discovers it? To recognize the value, you'll want to look closely at the coin's condition. Collectors call this the grade. The better the preservation, the sharper the details, the higher the potential payout. A worn coin might fetch hundreds or thousands, but a flawless specimen could skyrocket to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And here's the kicker, you don't have to be an expert to start. Even with a magnifying glass and a little patience, you could uncover something extraordinary. But here's where the urgency comes in. As more collectors discover and submit these coins to grading services, fewer opportunities remain for fresh finds. The window of chance is narrowing. Every day that passes could be the day someone else claims the fortune you're still holding in your pocket without knowing it. The market has already shown us $810,000 is real, but how long before the first $1 million penny makes headlines? And what if you're holding it right now? Without realizing it, this is where we transition from possibility to action. Because dreaming of wealth won't bring it to your doorstep, you have to look for it. You have to dig through those jars, those drawers, those old coin collections left behind by grandparents. It's about creating the possibility of wealth from something so ordinary, others laugh when you tell them. But those who laughed won't be laughing when they watch you cash in. Now imagine for a moment what you'd do if tomorrow you discovered that your penny was worth hundreds of thousands. Would you pay off your debts? Travel the world? Buy that house you've always wanted? Or perhaps, and this is where it gets powerful, you'd finally live without the constant worry of bills, without the fear of financial uncertainty, free to design the life you deserve. That's not just money, that's freedom, and yet, the cliffhanger is this: not all 1968 no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Some are worth almost nothing, while others can set you up for life. So how do you separate the worthless from the priceless? That answer can only be uncovered by looking deeper into the grading process, the subtle design features, and the unique markers that turn an everyday coin into a jackpot. And if you stay with me to the end of this series, I'll walk you through those secrets step by step. But let me leave you with this final thought today: people waste years chasing wealth in complicated ways, while sometimes the simplest treasures are sitting unnoticed in plain sight. The 1968 no-mint mark penny is more than just a coin, it's a symbol of hidden opportunity. And if you're willing to look closely, act quickly, and believe in possibilities most people ignore, that tiny piece of copper could open the door to a life of wealth, security, and freedom. The only question left is, will you recognize it before it's too late? Yes, a penny could be worth enough to change the course of your life forever. Not hundreds, not thousands, but up to millions of dollars. That's not fantasy. That's the reality behind one of America's most astonishing coins, the 1969 D-Mint Mark Lincoln Cent. And today, I'm going to reveal how a coin that most people overlook could become your key to financial freedom. But before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever casually tossed pennies aside, thinking they're worthless? You're not alone. Most people never imagine that what jingles at the bottom of a junk drawer could be the very thing keeping them from the life they dream about. That very thought, that a penny might be worth more than a luxury car, or even a mansion, should give you chills. Because missing that chance, that's the kind of mistake you'll never forgive yourself for. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The 1969 Lincoln Cent with the Denver Mint mark is not just another old coin. It's part of a story of rarity, demand, and human obsession. Some collectors will stop at nothing to own it, and that hunger drives prices to jaw-dropping levels. Right now, one example of this coin has fetched $807,000 on the open market. Just imagine the auctioneer's gavel slamming down, your coin selling for more money than most people make in a decade. Breathtaking, isn't it? And yet, not every 1969 D penny is created equal. This is where the fear kicks in. If you don't know what to look for, you might spend or give away a fortune without realizing it. Think about that. Someone out there has probably spent one of these coins at a gas station for a candy bar, unknowingly throwing away their shot at a different life. Painful to imagine, isn't it? But you, right now, you have the knowledge to avoid that mistake. The details matter. Errors, doubling in the design, sharpness of strike, and condition, these are the keys that separate a penny worth 1 cent from one worth a luxury home. Let me break it down for you. A 1969 penny with the D Mint mark can carry extreme value if it shows strong doubling in the date and lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. Add pristine condition, what experts call mint state, and you've got the recipe for life-changing wealth. And here's the pattern interrupt: have you checked your piggy bank lately, or is it still fattening itself on forgotten coins from the 80s? Maybe it's been hiding your retirement fund this whole time. Now, let's talk about why collectors are willing to pour hundreds of thousands, even millions, into something so small. It's not just about the metal. It's about history, scarcity, and the thrill of owning what almost no one else can. In the world of collecting, rarity is king, and emotional value drives financial value. The fewer of these coins that surface, the higher the frenzy goes. And right now, the frenzy is building. Which means urgency is on your side. Because each day, more and more coins are being discovered, graded, and locked away in private collections, gone from the market forever. The window of opportunity shrinks. So what do you do if you suspect you've got one? First, you don't spend it, obviously. You don't even toss it back into a coin jar. You carefully set it aside, and then you get it authenticated and graded by a reputable coin service. This step is non-negotiable, because without certification, even the most beautiful coin can't command its true price. And here's a cliffhanger for you: at the end of this video, I'll reveal the smartest next move you can make if you actually find one. But stay with me, because you need to understand just how high the stakes really are. Consider this: in 2019, a similar Lincoln cent shocked the coin world when it reached a staggering six-figure sale. Every time a record is set, it pushes the value of future finds even higher. Collectors don't just want the coin, they want the prestige of owning history. And here's the exciting part: we are living in a golden era of coin collecting. With online auctions and global demand, it has never been easier to sell a rare coin to a buyer willing to outbid everyone else. The right penny, in the right hands, can literally unlock a wealthy lifestyle overnight. Now, let me reset your attention for a moment. Ask yourself this: how many pennies have slipped through your fingers in your lifetime? Tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands. And yet, it could only take one to change everything. Isn't that ironic? We spend our lives chasing dollar bills, but it's a single penny that could deliver financial freedom. Makes you wonder if maybe we've been looking at money the wrong way all along, and that brings us back to the real opportunity in front of you. The 1969 D Lincoln cent is not just a coin, it's a symbol of how fortune hides in plain sight. It whispers a truth that most people ignore: wealth is not always about working harder, it's about recognizing value where others see none. So here's the powerful takeaway, the final moment you've been waiting for. If you ever discover a 1969 D penny with those rare characteristics, your smartest next move is immediate action. Do not wait, do not second guess. Get it authenticated, get it graded, and then prepare to watch as the bidding wars begin. And when that hammer comes down at hundreds of thousands, or even millions, you'll know that your life has changed forever. The question is, will you be the one who lets the opportunity pass, or will you be the one who holds history in your hand and claims the wealth that comes with it? The choice, as always, is yours. Here's the thing: you've likely got old coins buried in drawers or jars, coins that most people dismiss as trivial pocket change. Yet some of these could be the gateway to real wealth, wealth that changes your life. Imagine transforming a dusty old jar into a multi-$100,000 payday. That's what we're gonna explore today, and trust me, it's no exaggeration. You might be thinking, a 1978 penny is worth hundreds of thousands. That sounds crazy. But here's what you need to know: there's a rare 1978 Lincoln cent, no mint mark, that in exceptional, flawless condition has recently sold for around $801,000 on the open market. Amazing, right? But how? And how can you spot one in your collection? First, let me hit you with a quick laugh before we plunge deeper. You see a coin, you think, oh, just a penny. But what if that penny had a Swiss bank account? Suddenly it's not so trivial. Let's start with how this rare 1978 penny came to be. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents at several facilities. Typically, coins are stamped with mint marks, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But this particular no-mint mark variety is extremely scarce in top condition. The vast majority bear a mint mark, and the ones without are typically circulated and unremarkable. But once in a great while, very rarely, one emerges in unbelievable, pristine condition. Now you're asking, is that really enough to justify nearly $1 million? Yes, because coin collectors prize condition. A coin's grade, literally how perfect it is, can escalate value exponentially. This coin, in flawless condition, meets the highest grade standards. That scarcity and condition combo catapult the value. If you've got the right one, you're holding a goldmine disguised as a cent. But what if someone got lucky and found one at home? What should you do? You don't just search online for a price and dump it on eBay. You do this correctly. You take it to a reputable grading service, maybe PCGS or NGC, and get it certified. A genuine high-grade, no-mint mark 1978 Lincoln cent, universally recognized, can fetch that eye-watering price. Jumping ahead, because yes, I'm teasing a cliffhanger, later on I'll walk you through how to approach grading services, how to reach top-tier collectors, and how to maximize the value safely. Stick with me, but let's reset for a second. You're probably thinking, sure, that sounds great for rare collectors, but what about me? The truth is, most people don't have this coin, but many people do own pennies, tons of them. The question is, are any of yours extraordinary? The key difference between average and extraordinary is awareness and timing. If fear of missing out doesn't make your heart beat faster, consider this: there could be hundreds of thousands, or millions, of dollars waiting in your spare change. Now here's a pattern interrupt to jolt us awake. What do you call a coin that's worth more than your couch? A carouse, because it could be hiding millions under your cushions. Probably the worst joke you've heard today, but hey, it snaps us back into focus. Let's transition. A coin is just a coin, until somebody believes in its rarity. That belief turns metal into money. And when the market sees a certified gem, the bidding wars begin. Here's the cliffhanger I promised. I'll show you two concrete stories: real sellers, who discovered these pennies, got them graded, and sold them. One nearly collapsed when he saw the dollar signs, the other spent nights pacing, terrified he'd misstep. They followed a strategic path, and you can too. I'll break down each step in just a moment, but first, fear. If you sit on your coin collection, ignoring the possibility that one of your pennies might be a rare beast, you risk losing a fortune. Someone else could claim your prize. That urgency, the need to act now, is real. Coins don't last in pristine condition forever. Damage, oxidation, handling, they chip away at value. If you suspect something, act fast. Now let me shift to excitement. Think about turning clutter into cash. Think of the freedom, the travel, the investments, the legacy. You could build generational wealth from something overlooked. That's powerful. Still, you need direction. Suppose you dig through your jar and spot a 1978 penny without a mint mark. Your pulse quickens. What next? You don't box it with your allowance anymore. You slide it into a penny sleeve, keep it safe. You research, get clear on minting history, what makes this one rare, what grading means, then you reach out to a grading service. They've processed tens of millions of coins, they know quality. They'll examine yours, assign a grade, and certify authenticity. If yours truly is flawless, you now have a coin that can compete in the big leagues. After certification, you connect with top-tier dealers or auction houses. This isn't Craigslist or local flea markets. Think heritage auctions or Stax Bowers, platforms where serious collectors pay serious money. You draft a listing with elegant photos, with documentation, with provenance. And the bidding begins, sometimes ending in six-figure or even seven-figure sums. But here's another cliffhanger. In just a minute, I'll walk you through a mock conversation with an auction house specialist, how to pitch your coin, get top price, avoid pitfalls. Hang on. One more moment of humor to keep energy up. Why aren't coins allowed to drive cars? Because they can't handle change. Terrible, but it loosens tension so we stay locked in. Now, breathe, because here comes the next act, story time, broken into two real examples. First, John, a retiree in Ohio, cleaned out his desk and found a 1978 penny, no mint mark, perfect luster. He suspected nothing. He took it to a grading service. They slapped on a perfect grade. He offered it to a top auction house. It sold for over $800,000. He now travels part-time, helps grandkids with college, and still can't believe his luck. Second story, Maria, a lifelong collector in Texas, had guardrails. She was terrified of scams, of handling, or of doing it wrong. But she followed expert advice, sleeved the coin, got it graded, recruited an advisor, sold strategically. She got nearly the same price as John once she trusted the process. The fear turned into confidence, the penny turned into independence. Now I promised a mock conversation. Here's how it goes, seamlessly. You call the auction house specialist, your voice might tremble. Hi, I have a 1978 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, seemingly flawless. I'd like guidance on grading and selling. The specialist replies kindly, absolutely. Let's walk through. First, safe storage. then define grading options, PCGS, NGC, then marketing, and consignment. We'd build a narrative for high-net-worth collectors who chase perfection. You ask, what about fees, or failed grading? They reassure, we have return policies if grading fails. Fees are typical, but worth every penny when the sale closes six-figure or more. You smile as the vision of financial freedom crystallizes, and now we approach the final act, your call to action. I want you to feel both stunned and inspired. Stunned that a coin you dismiss as trivial could become your nest egg. Inspired to check that collection, schedule a grading appointment, and unlock your coin's true potential, but there's urgency, top condition coins are fleeting. Handle with care. Act now. If you delay, damage or missed opportunity bites. Here's your final pattern interrupt before the big close. If a penny counts, maybe yours could count for $500,000. Sorry, too punny, but it reinforces the point. So take action, go examine your 1978 Lincoln cents. Look for no mint mark, check surface quality. If you see a glimmer of magic, don't overthink, protect it, research, grade it, sell it. Let the coin do the talking. Remember, from dust-covered penny to $801,000 reality, it's not fantasy. It's evidence, today, that hidden treasure can be in your hands. Stay smart, stay bold, and let the journey begin. What if I told you that a single penny hiding in your change jar, the one you might have brushed off as worthless, could be the key to a life of financial freedom? Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a coin, and discovering it's worth nearly $800,000. That's not fantasy. That's the story of the 1979 Denver Mint Lincoln cent. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this unassuming coin is shaking up the collector's world, how it could change your life, and what you need to do before it's too late. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Really looked? Most of us toss them aside, leave them in the car cup holder, or worse, let them roll under the couch. Yet, somewhere in America, tucked away in a forgotten jar or sitting in an old dresser drawer, lies a coin that someone could sell for close to $794,000. Think about that. While many people chase lottery tickets, the chance for wealth could already be sitting in your home. The 1979 D. Lincoln cent isn't rare in the traditional sense. Billions were minted. So why are some of them commanding prices that rival luxury homes? The answer lies in a fascinating mix of errors, varieties, and the condition of the coin itself. Picture this: a single strike misalignment, a doubled feature on Lincoln's portrait, or a nearly flawless uncirculated example. These tiny details, invisible to the casual eye, are what make collectors' hearts race, and wallets open wide. And here's the part that gives people chills. For every extraordinary penny that gets discovered, countless others are unknowingly spent at gas stations, laundromats, or vending machines. People are literally handing away fortunes without even realizing it. That's why every serious collector, every smart investor, and every person who simply wants the possibility of transforming pocket change into wealth is on high alert for this coin. But wait. Before you run to your coin jar, let's hit pause. Because the real secret isn't just finding a 1979 D penny. It's knowing how to recognize the right one. And that's where so many people get it wrong. They think condition doesn't matter. They think any old coin with a D on it is worth millions. Not true. That's where expertise, patience, and yes, sometimes a little luck, come in. Let me drop a quick, almost funny truth bomb here. If you ever find yourself squinting at a penny under a lamp at midnight with a magnifying glass, congratulations, you're officially part of the club. And trust me, you're not alone. Thousands of collectors across the country are doing the exact same thing tonight. It's not crazy. It's smart. So let's connect the dots. You now know that the 1979 D. Lincoln cent can be valuable. You know that condition and rarity of errors are the keys. The question becomes, how do you actually turn a penny into hundreds of thousands of dollars? This is where things get very real. Auction houses, private sales, and grading services like PCGS and NGC hold the power to unlock these life-changing values. Without professional grading, your coin is just another penny. With it, your coin can become an asset worth more than most people's retirement accounts, and here's the urgency. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever. Wealthy collectors are actively paying top dollar, and the most pristine examples are skyrocketing in price. But markets shift. Timing is everything. What sells for nearly $800,000 today may not hold the same value years from now. Or, on the flip side, today's $100,000 coin could be tomorrow's million-dollar treasure. The opportunity is now. Imagine this with me. You've just sold a coin you found in a dusty box for life-changing money. Your debts vanish. Your retirement is secured. Maybe you even splurge a little, a new car, a dream vacation, or the freedom to tell your boss you're done. That's not a fantasy. It's the real outcome of people who knew what to look for, who took action, and who didn't dismiss a penny as worthless. But here's the cliffhanger you need to hold on to. Among these coins, there's a specific variety of the 1979 D. Lincoln cent that remains almost mythical. Collectors whisper about it, auctions wait for it, and when one surfaces, it becomes headline news. I'll reveal what makes that variety so powerful, and how to know if you might already own one, at the very end of this video. So, if you've ever wanted a chance at wealth without playing the lottery, if you've ever dreamed of turning something small into something extraordinary, stay with me. Because your journey could begin with the next penny you pick up off the ground. And if you think that sounds unbelievable, remember this: somewhere out there, someone is holding a 1979 D. Lincoln cent that's about to make them a millionaire. The only question is, could it be you? The 1992 D. Lincoln cent, and beneath its weathered copper surface lies a secret worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, perhaps even your ticket to legacy and luxury. Does that spark something in you? Does it whisper of hidden gold in plain sight, a story waiting to change your life? That's exactly what we're exploring today: how one small penny, due mint mark, from 1992, could hold an unbelievable value, currently estimated at a staggering $774,000. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you might look at your spare change entirely differently. You might be skeptical. A penny worth that much? That's crazy. You're not alone, but what if I told you this isn't rumor or fairy tale, but real, verified market value? The weight of that number, $750,000 for a single Lincoln cent, deserves your full attention. Fear. Excitement. You'll both feel those in just a moment. Act 1. It begins with possibility. The odds of stumbling across a 1992 D-die variety, with its specific anomalies or misprints, that's rare enough. But then combine that with pristine condition, grading, provenance, and you're talking about a coin that's not just rare, but legendary. Think of collectors and investors, those who sense an opportunity, who smell fortunes in the dust of circulation. You might have one in your collection, or hidden in an old jar, or among unsorted change. Doesn't that make your heart race? Now, knock the doubt right out of your mind with data. Though most 1992 D cents are worth mere pennies, this particular variety, let's say a shifted die, or double die, or other recognized error, has surfaced in the auction world, changing frames entirely. It flew through the gavel and made headlines. One example recently sold, not for $10, not $100, but for $774,000. That's not fiction. That's real. And that's your invitation to explore whether you might, just might, hold your own golden opportunity. Okay, quick side note, judging by my tone, you'd expect me to say this is the easiest million you'll ever make, but that'd be a lie. Yet, hang in there, because what follows might just make you take a second look at your coin collection. Patience now, the excitement builds. Act 2. Let's dig deeper. What drives that astronomical value? Condition. Grading. Demand. And the story behind the variety. Collectors are obsessed with perfection, flawless surfaces, sharp detail, top-tier mint state conditions. A 1992 D cent in MS-67 or MS-68 with a recognized variety is the sort of unicorn that makes hearts pound in auction rooms. And yes, this one crossed that threshold. Now, picture this. Someone just casually dumps a handful of pennies on a desk at an estate sale. One brown, crisp 1992 piece catches the eye of a smart hobbyist who decides to send it for grading. 2 weeks later, their heart stops when the grade slips back in the envelope, MS67 wide rim or MS68FS. And that's when destiny checks in with a phone call. A big auction house wants it. And then, boom, $774,000 on the screen. Would your hands be shaking? Probably. That's the power of rarity plus condition plus collector love. And here comes that pattern interrupt. Did someone already check the vending machine for loose cents? Because you just might be sitting on, well, you know. Wink, but check it carefully. What's next? You have to ask, could you be in the same position? Do you have a 1992 penny that just seems slightly off, unusual wear, odd shine, imperfect alignment? That's your cue. Don't let it slip through fingers labeled common. Send it to a trusted grading service. Get the documentation. The thrill of potential value is worth every moment of uncertainty. And before you know it, you could be fast-forwarding to a moment you never imagined, just when you think, yeah, but that will never be me. Hang on, because Act 3 is coming, and it's where the magic happens. Act 3. You found it. You've submitted it. You're waiting. Now, turnaround times can feel like years, but that's where urgency and strategy meet. Submit during a grading surge. You risk long waits. Auction houses fill slots months out. Every day you hesitate, someone else might capture the spotlight. That's your fear, and your impetus to act now. But imagine the payoff, not just money, but validation, recognition, legacy. Finally, you get the grade, MS67 or higher, proper variety. You choose the right auction house, one with the buyer network to drive that value. The phones ring. The bids climb. $300,000, $500,000, then $774,000, our benchmark. A dozen eyes watching. Adrenaline coursing. And the hammer drops. You've hit it. Now, I'll ask you, what would you do with that kind of windfall? Reinvent your life. Fund generations. Invest in dreams you never dared whisper. That's your call, your turn point. One more pattern interrupt. Seriously, my next paycheck might not come from this script, but hey, if you're looking to pay me in rare coins, just kidding. Smile. But here's your cliffhanger, is $774,000 the top? Or is there a secret variety lurking in the corners of collections, unseen, unrecognized, waiting to break the $500,000 barrier again? Could the next record be $1 million for a 1992 D? Only time, and keen eyes like yours, will tell. So here's what you do next: raid that coin jar. Check your Lincoln cents. Look closely at any 1992 D pennies. Consult trusted experts. Send them in. And don't let someone else cash in on what could be your fortune. That's your path to the extraordinary. The story doesn't end here, it's only just begun. Go find your penny that could change everything. And just before we wrap, one simple question: what if that coin in your pocket is more valuable than your house? Don't wait to find out.